This video is sponsored by Surfshark VPN. Hey guys, and welcome to All About Linux. Today, I'll be testing and comparing the CPU, GPU, and RAM performance of Mageia 8 and Fedora 34 Workstation. Both distros are running the GNOME desktop. However, Mageia 8 is still running the old GNOME 3.38.2, while Fedora 34 is running the brand new GNOME 40.1 desktop. My test PC is sporting an AMD Ryzen 5 2400G CPU, an AMD Radeon RX 590 with 8GB of GDDR5 VRAM and 16GB of DDR4 2666MHz RAM. Without further ado, let's see how they stack up against each other. Starting with a game of War Thunder, with the graphics settings set to 1080p and a high preset, Mageia 8 scored an average frame rate of 77.3 FPS, 1% loss of 43.7 FPS, and 0.1% loss of 33.5 FPS. While on Fedora 34 Workstation, frame rates were pretty similar, with the average frame rate at 73.1 FPS, 1% loss at 41.8 FPS, and 0.1% loss at 31.2 FPS. Overall, the frame rates were neck on neck, and this round will be a tie. Next, I played a round of arms race for each version in CSGO. With the graphics settings set to 1440p auto, average frame rates on Mageia 8 were at 54.2 FPS, with 1% loss at 29.8 FPS and 0.1% loss at 20.6 FPS. On Fedora 34 Workstation, the frame rates are pretty neck on neck yet again, with average frame rates of 52.1 FPS, 1% loss of 28.1 FPS, and 0.1% loss of 21.5 FPS. I will call this round a tie. In an online round of TRACKMANIA Nations Forever, a Windows game, Fedora 34's Workstation's frame rates were basically a constant 60 FPS. This is strange though, as TRACKMANIA usually attains frame rates of at least 80 FPS, but it seems that it has been locked to 60 FPS on Fedora. Unfortunately, TRACKMANIA would not run on Mageia 8. By the way, if you like this video, do consider hitting the subscribe and like button. Next, I did some tests to find out about the RAM usage for each distro. It should be noted that these RAM usages include that of the screen recorder, simple screen recorder. When idle, both distros use the same amount of RAM at 2.1GB. Opening the start page of Firefox, which is the default start page of Mageia 8 and the Fedora start page of Fedora 34 Workstation, RAM usage increased by 0.4GB on both distros to 2.5GB. Playing one of my previous videos, RAM usage increased by another 0.3GB on both distros to 2.8GB. Wow, these two distros are really equal. Finally, in the GEEKBENCH 5 test, Fedora 34 Workstation performed better than Mageia 8 in both the single-core and multi-core tests, scoring 12 points more than Mageia in the single-core test and 91 points more in the multi-core test. Fedora 34 Workstation definitely wins this round. So, in conclusion, Fedora 34 Workstation won this test. It won the GEEKBENCH 5 test, while the rest of the tests were tied. It was also able to run TRACKMANIA, unlike Mageia. Personally, I will also go for Fedora because of its polish and GNOME 40. Now, I would like to talk about today's sponsor, Surfshark VPN. Surfshark VPN protects your privacy and security online and blocks geo-restricted content like certain Netflix libraries with features like its ultra-fast 3200 plus servers in 65 countries, industry-leading encryption, ad blocker, and many others. It works on an unlimited number of devices, from Android and iOS to Windows, macOS, and Linux, to Chrome and Firefox extensions. Best of all, you can get Surfshark VPN today for the first 3 months free, then 81% off for just $2.49 per month. Do head over to surfshark.do/allaboutlinux and get Surfshark today. Thanks to Surfshark for sponsoring this video. Do let me know if you have any suggestions for things or games to test in future videos. Okay, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching and I will see you all in the next video.